So, I got muscles. I got chest. I've been at the gym. I missed last week because all I was doing was just pure working out. That's literally all I was doing. But I'm back now. So, you guys can watch this podcast again. You can actually enjoy it again because I'm here. I'm here and I'm ready. So, I will introduce myself. I would be what someone called the leader of this podcast.
As if.
Some would call me the captain.
I think the leader of this podcast is a little small furry creature. Hi.
We do have the dog with us again. By the way, reason why I think people will be happy I'm here is because the other brother broke the dog's leg.
Yeah, we need to mention this. Yeah,
never happened.
We'll mention this after when we start.
He's absolutely fine.
I am Jesse. I will talk about darts and football, but at this moment in time, it's pretty much just one story in darts I can talk about.
Yeah.
I am Carter. I'm a middle child. I'll be talking about boxing and UFC. I might have a little bit to talk about.
Okay. My name's Charlie. I'm the older sister, and I talk about motorsports, mostly F1, and I have a little bit to talk about.
That's the first time they did that. That was very weird, wasn't it?
So some people have...
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
There were catchphrases, yeah.
Phases.
Shannon Briggs, let's go champ. Captain America, I can do this all day, yeah?
What a weird mix of people. What a weird mix of people. Why would you
Muhammad Ali be like, I'll show you how great I am. We have one. So are you ready? Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, ready.
Yeah,
3, 2, 1.
Lights out and podcast on.
Done. Yeah. Who is starting?
Did anyone forget? Because I nearly forgot and thought, oh God, is it Lights Out? Is it Lights Out podcast? Is it?
I'm actually just going to skip in here because obviously Cart's going to start this podcast off today. He's going to talk about MMA, and I'm going to discuss this beforehand on the podcast in front of the world. You used an MMA move on my dog this week. My dog, who now can't jump up on sofas or on beds. He's struggling to run. So I want a public apology right now to the dog.
Who are you addressing?
You know who I'm talking to, Carter.
I ain't got a clue who you're talking to.
All Dad heard... I'm going to tell you this because I don't know if you know. All Dad heard was Carter say, let's do MMA, and then all of a sudden, the dog's limping.
Right. No.
From what I know, I've not heard that. The dog started limping, and I think Carter's the easiest person to blame.
Right.
No, Carter is the person to blame. He did an MMA move on a dog.
Right. No, you don't even know what happened.
Before you go further and say, well, I didn't use it was the other back leg.
It was the other back leg.
The fact that it's the back legs, and it's the back legs that are limping, should give you enough of an idea.
Right.
If I bash you in the head, but I bashed you on one side, but you had a headache on the other side, I'm going to take blame for the fact that I probably did
No, because that's a different body part. It don't make sense. Right, what I did was, I did a little wrestling move on him, and I got his back leg and swept it, so he fell, right? But he didn't fall in the other one. He was already limping before, I can guarantee you that.
Was not limping
And then
before.
it just so happens I did an MMA move on him, and now he's limping still, but he was already limping.
And he can't jump up on things.
Yeah, well, that's his own fault.
That's not his own fault, that's your fault.
You're exaggerating it a bit. He's actually fine. Like, he's chewing on a toy right now like it's nothing. He doesn't care.
Okay, Cart, over to you.
Thank you. Today's weather is sunny with a bit of cloud.
Brought to you by...
We got UFC 317 coming up on Sunday. We've got Topuria versus Oliveira, which will be a particularly good fight, as they are both phenomenal. Oliveira has been a champion a couple of times, and he's very experienced. He has 10 losses on his belt, but he also has 46 fights in MMA, so it's still pretty impressive. 35 wins. He's got championships, like I said. He's very good. Topuria is unbeaten. He is particularly good. He will probably be fighting Islam at some point. Very good. And he is 16-0-0. He's just very, very good. And he fights for like a cause and stuff, so he's pretty good. That's pretty much it for UFC. There is more on within time, but for this week we might as well just mention that because that's Sunday. I will be watching and we'll be talking about it next week. For boxing, however, we've got a couple matches coming up. So on Friday, we have Deontay Wilder versus Terrell Herndon. Deontay Wilder. Charlie, you know Deontay Wilder, right?
I know the name Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder. Jess, you know Deontay Wilder?
I love Deontay Wilder.
I'm a big fan. Deontay Wilder is like, as for the new generation of boxing, he's one of the better ones for a simple fact. He has knocked out every opponent he's beat. He's lost 4 times, fair enough. He has lost 4 times. But every opponent that he's beaten, he's knocked out, which is incredible. It's really incredible. He's very, very good. June 28th, which would be the Saturday, we have... I mean, I don't even know what we're talking about. It's like professional boxing. But Jake Paul versus Julio Chavez Jr.
Woo!
Chavez Jr. is a... average, mediocre boxer, I'd say. That's why Jake Paul's taking a risk, because he's not fighting anyone worth fighting, really. But, you know, it's still a big enough name that you go, all right, he's actually fighting a boxer that's currently fighting. But he's not really that great. He's not his father. I've said this before, but he's not his father.
Yeah, you have mentioned this.
So that'll be a nice support. They always have good undercards. They always have good undercards. They always put on a bit of a show, and it's nice. But if I'm honest, out of both nights, I'm more looking forward to Deontay Wilder fighting again. Terrell Herndon is very good. He's had 5 losses to him, but he's got 25 wins, 15 KOs, which is like a decent, I'd say a decent record. It's not nothing bad, and it's a good little comeback fight for Deontay Wilder. And maybe he goes for an AJ fight, a money fight for his last one or something. But that'll be very, very good to watch. Other than that, we don't really have anything else until a few more weeks, so might as well leave it. But Friday, Saturday and Sunday we have got fights going on in both boxing and UFC, and I will be watching them so we can talk about it on Tuesday or whenever.
Well, Thursday,
of course. Thursday, yes, because we film and upload on
Thursday.
We wake up at 2 in the morning on Thursday
and
we record it.
We post it. That's how it works.
Do you want to do a predictions of the 3 fights?
No. On the basis I don't know anything. Jesse will. I back
Jake
whatever.
Paul versus Chavez Jr. You know that one.
Jake Paul will win. It's been set up for him to win.
Jake Paul it's probably been set up. I bet he's probably paid off.
Chavez said the other day that he's on steroids.
He is on steroids.
Yeah, he's got to be, yeah. I'd say for Wilder, I want Wilder to win. I really like
Wilder won't lose to someone with that record. It's not a bad record.
His head's gone though. His head is gone.
I only know this.
His head's gone, but he is still good enough to beat an average or less than average boxer. So he should beat Terrell.
You know, the issue with him is he tried to get technical, which he shouldn't have. He was a one-trick pony. But it was a very big pony.
It was a very
big pony, yes.
It was a very
Sounds
long
weird.
trip.
Yeah, essentially...
Sounds so strange.
He had one weapon, but my God, was it a good weapon? Do you know what I'm saying? It was that... He has a deadly punch. So I don't know why he's gone to try to get all technical and like actually trying to outbox boxers. You're not. You've got a good punch.
So he's got a big pony and a weapon.
He's got a massive pony and a massive weapon on him,
right,
yeah.
Okay.
It makes all the men drop and it makes all the ladies go crazy.
Right,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'd imagine,
Very strange.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
What was the other fight? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Well, Deontay Wilder, Terrell. I think Deontay Wilder probably he'll take it.
I want Wilder.
He's not a good enough boxer as Terrell to beat Wilder. He's just not. And then we've got Topuria versus Oliveira.
We're going to say Topuria because his name's quite nice.
I would go Oliveira personally.
Who did you say Topuria before?
Topuria. I said
Oliveira.
Oh, okay.
Did you say what?
I thought you said Dustin Topuria. It's like, sorry.
Oh no!
What?
I thought you started.
Like
no, I was really. So I thought you said Dustin Cormier, and I was there like, I thought I was there like, I don't even know he was.
Cormier.
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's what we're confused.
I think you're getting mixed up between Topuria, Dustin Poirier, and Daniel Cormier.
No, I
think you're getting mixed up.
I thought you meant Dustin Poirier. Sorry.
No. Poirier.
Poirier. Sorry. Yeah.
He'd always have my vote. I like Dustin, but no, it's Topuria versus Oliveira.
I know. I know Oliveira's very good. That's why.
Oliveira's very good, but he's like when he's fought everybody decent.
He's the Brazilian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he's fought Poirier, He's for Islam. Did he fight Khabib? I'm not sure if he's fight Khabib. Gaethje. He lost all of them. All the decent names he's lost to.
Khabib, he lost.
Yeah, I mean, Khabib beats literally everybody, and he'd maul the lightweight division, other than Islam nowadays. But no, I think Topuria, it's his like one to say, right, I've beat Oliveira because he's a really good champ, and then he can go up for a championship belt, which will make sense. But I'm gonna have to say Topuria. I just have to. But yeah, little prediction. That's pretty much it for me. I've not really got much more to talk about. So Charlie, I think it's up to you, isn't it?
I mean, there's not a lot, because obviously I'm not going to talk about the GP that happened last week on the basis that, the GP happened last week. This isn't, it's been 2 weeks now. It's old news.
Old news.
So I think we best probably go into predictions potentially for this week, which is going to be in Austria. So it's decent, like, let me just check. So it's round 11.
Is it 11 rounds?
No, it's the round.
No. I didn't know we've had 11 races. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So, at the minute, we are looking at the driver standings being 198 to Oscar Piastri, 176 to Lando Norris, 155 to Max Verstappen, 136 to George Russell, and 104 to Charles Leclerc, which is the top 5. So, reasonably, we are starting to see that gap becoming bigger and bigger with Piastri and Norris.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart, but I
don't think it's going to become a gap. He will close it. I reckon he actually does have it. It was just a mistake made last time, and he knows it was a mistake. But I think all it takes now is Norris to pull his form out and say, right, let's actually do this. And the team to say, look, we're going to back you, still safely, but we're going to back you and see what happens. But I think Norris is going to pull it off.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm happy because I'm starting to like Piastri more and more. And, I mean, I'm a McLaren fan, so watching him absolutely kill every other driver, it's great for me because I'm watching a McLaren win. Watching Norris, who I've supported for a bit now, is quite sad. But he still has his chance.
Yeah.
Whether it's this year, next year, or in a few years. McLaren's not stopping.
Norris, without question, is going to win a championship.
Oh, yeah.
The question is to when.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I tell you what I do really like, though, and this is obviously constructors, McLaren realistically have got it in the bag. But Mercedes at the minute is on 199, Ferrari on 183. So, if my team can pull their schnizzle together, I may potentially get a second in the championship this year, which would be lovely.
What's McLaren on?
374.
Okay.
I did say to you, you've taken it away. You don't need to be a arse.
No, I'm not saying it.
But yeah, so I'm hopeful that maybe we can take Mercedes realistically with the way that Charles drives. George recently, I will say, has been very lucky. And that is my opinion. I don't think it's necessary. And I will say Mercedes' car at the minute is really impressive. They've done really good with downforce and things like that. When it comes to overtaking as well, Kimi is mint.
Mint at Mercedes would be a really big problem if they had decent drivers.
Yeah. What? No!
I don't care. I can say like it's nothing. I'm a McLaren fan. I can say
Antonelli is a really good driver.
I'm sat on my high horse right now. I'm sat on my throne, and I can say it is what it is.
George is dependable. Do I think he's going to win a championship?
No.
I don't think he will. But I do think he's a dependable driver. Yeah. The issue I think he's going to see in the next 2 years is going to be a Bottas-Hamilton situation where he thinks he's going to win a championship and Hamilton came in and just... And I just feel like it's that sort of situation. Well, Hammy and basically anyone who was at Mercedes.
Yeah.
But... with Nico and things like that as well.
I was going to say Rosberg, Jesus Christ. Yeah. But I'm just hoping there's not another Rosberg Hamilton with Piastri and Norris.
Did you see where Nico took the selfie last weekend?
Yeah.
He took it exactly where Lando crashed. All I'm saying is, that man, I don't want to call him a curse, but he is. He's a curse. If he takes a photo anywhere near you, run. Put yourself in a bunker and try and get through that weekend, because once you're out of that weekend you should be safe, but just get through to Monday.
I really don't like Rosberg. I don't think anyone does, but
his commentary's great, but I just feel like he's a curse, because every time that Charles crashed out it's been because of Nico Rosberg. I swear to God it is. But yeah, so I feel like this weekend is going to be...
That's just Ferrari.
No.
In Ferrari.
His selfies have always been close. But no, I feel like this weekend's going to be a really good race. So obviously, so we're in Austria. Prediction wise, the good thing I think about Austria is it's one of those tracks which will surprise you. You people who you think reasonably, they're going to steal it, they're going to take it away, don't always take it away. You know, we had Max Verstappen for the past 2 years not always run with it as much as he thought he would. You know, I am a bit biased. I do think Ferrari do quite well on the Austrian track. But why? I don't know why you laugh.
No,
They
I'm not
genuinely
laughing.
do laugh.
I
They
just
genuinely do
breathe.
well.
I breathe loudly.
Shut up. Ferrari do really, really well, I do think, on the Austrian track. They've proven that before, so I'm hopeful that maybe some decent points there. And as I said, the ideal for me is potentially having that second in constructors. That'd be really nice. So if that could be done this weekend, that'd be amazing. And I just think it'd be a really nice opportunity for Ferrari to just get that, you know, buzz, I think, back, because Ferrari at the minute are on a little bit of a dip. And I don't want to blame anyone. I don't even think it's Hamilton's fault. I think Hamilton at the minute is still struggling with that car, and I think it's so evident.
Yeah.
Also, could I just say a massive thank you, because at the start of the year, I did join a Ferrari club.
Oh my god.
And I got a box.
Nerd.
You did, yeah, you did. You did. Yeah,
I'm so happy.
when I saw it, I
I'm so
thought,
happy.
like, because our dad obviously brought it in and he said, she's going to love that. And then I remember seeing it going, God, she really is going to love
Yeah,
that.
I was
It's
so
very cool.
happy.
It's quite happy.
I forgot that it was coming as well, and I was like, oh my god, what is arriving? And it was that. I was so pleased. So yeah, I've got my new Ferrari hat, which I will be wearing.
Yeah.
I've got, oh my god, yeah, I love it. Anyway, so back
I've
to...
actually got something to say about F1.
Are you talking about Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt went in a
yeah.
McLaren, yeah, he drove in a I mean,
did.
that's so cool.
Do you know what he didn't reach?
What?
200 miles per hour. He talked to Greg about it on
I've-
another podcast.
I've got an F1 question.
Yeah.
England recently went to the F1 when it was a atrocious campaign in the not Nations League qualifiers and the friendly against Senegal, who was the first ever African team to ever beat England ever.
Right. This is my section.
Yeah,
What do you want?
no. Yeah. England's gone to F1.
Oh, yes.
And
Saka.
Someone has
Yes.
gone up to ask Saka some questions, and Saka's fobbed them off.
Simon on Sky Sports. So I can't remember his last name. It's Simon. He's one of the interviewers. on
Oh,
Sky
yeah.
Sports.
And
He goes
Saka's
up-
fobbed him off.
Yeah, properly,
yeah.
like full on. I watched it like
It
Harry
wasn't
Kane.
that bad. It wasn't
No,
like
it was
Pep,
pretty
it wasn't
bad.
like Pep Guardiola's, where Pep Guardiola basically had a go. Or
No, don't get me wrong. It's not like they got
he
aggressive.
basically has
but-
just gone, nothing to say, and just kind of.
No. I mean, it was quite like. So you went to loads of different people. Bellingham. I think Grealish ran there.
Kane did a massive one. Yeah,
Kane did a massive one, but apparently Kane's quite a big. They're all McLaren fans because
Yeah.
obviously it's best. So Kane's. By the way, and for
Can
me
you
as well.
say, realistically, they are all, granted they are the England team, they are realistically going to go with an English team, so it's either going to be
Yeah,
McLaren
they're
or Williams. So they're contractually going to say one or the other.
No.
It's going to be McLaren or Williams.
Either way, I mean, Kane stood there and gave us a massive interview, and he seemed really into it. He answered the questions, and he was talking about it like he was an actual fan, like he actually watched it. Bellingham, Grealish, I saw them. A few other team were doing it, and he goes up to Saka, and Saka fobs him off completely, and he goes, "Sorry, we're asking all the England people. Everyone's getting an interview from the England squad. Can I get a few?" And so he goes, "No, just looking away, kind of fobbing him off." I was like,
I will
Jesus.
say, I understand that people necessarily don't want to, but any fan who would be given the opportunity to do a grid walk, I think it would be unreal, and every single fan would happily speak to someone. You are a celebrity. You've not paid for your ticket 9 times out of 10. You probably haven't even paid for your ticket. At the end of the day, at the very least, if you aren't into the sport, don't go, because you're taking someone else's opportunity to go. If Saka doesn't like it, don't go. It's that simple. Just don't go. Because you're taking someone else's opportunity who would happily talk. I would sit there and speak to Martin Brundle for hours.
Is that the guy?
That man would have to be dragged away, because I'd be like, "No, Martin, you can come back here and sit."
Is that the guy? So I saw a comment on Twitter.
A lot of celebrities get,
where apparently even if you refuse, he will get you to talk. Yeah,
he will literally. And I mean, it's also been pointed out, when celebrities are rude to him, F1 fans do turn on them quite quickly. And I get it, because at the end of the day, you are on the grid. Martin's one of those as well. Ted Kravitz can be a little bit biased sometimes, and I think that. But I really like him as an interviewer. But he can. But as well, he's a British interviewer, so he's biased towards Brits. So at the end of the day, for me, I'm okay watching it because he's mostly biased towards being, you know, really positive about British drivers.
They're both so funny.
But I absolutely love Martin Brundle. I think he's one of the least biased ones. I think he's just really loves the sport. Obviously, he's been a driver
Shame you never got to drive on the track. Shame you're not fast enough to get into F1. It's so quick. I love it.
He's so fast. But yeah, Martin's obviously like just brilliant. Like he's a really like decent interviewer. But when celebrities fob him off, I can't express how angry I get because I just think you've taken someone else's opportunity away.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, I'm guessing you're not a fan of F1.
Yeah.
That's why you don't want to talk.
Yeah.
But then don't go. If that is that simple,
Well,
don't take
just
someone
be
else.
honest about it.
I did watch. I can't remember, and I don't want to name drop. I was going to, but I don't think I'm correct in
Is
the
it a
actress's
female
name.
model?
It's an actress. No,
Cara
actress.
Delevingne. That's
no,
so
not
good.
Cara Delevingne,
That one's
although
so good.
That is funny.
Or
Wait, I'm
Simone
not sure if
Ashley.
it's Jennifer Lopez or someone else. But there was
Simone
this.
Ashley's done it a few times.
There was this actress that literally went, took Instagram pictures, and then she was seen like arriving. They did the interview, and she got like pictures, and then she was on the track and stuff. Whoever it was took the pictures for Instagram and on Twitter and whatever, and then she left. They went there to just take the pictures and then they left, which is just purely saying, "Look at me, I'm a fan, getting money and going." That's just
That
so bad.
Cara
Delevingne was really
that
bad.
was so
I kind of think
But
she's
she's
a fan,
shown
you
up.
know.
She's shown up a few times.
Martin
but
Brundle did not care.
Yeah.
She was baffled.
She got dragged afterwards as well for it and I do think there is an element of. Because it also is said in the like, if you sign up to go on the grid walk, you go in on the grid walk, you can be interviewed. And I understand there is an element of you don't have to be. You can just say no, but there's fans that would kill to go on the grid walk and potentially, give their opinions. So if you haven't got the decency to be a fan of the sport that you are basically taking a free ride from, then don't go. Like, just have some common decency to give that ticket then to someone who actually does want to go. Saka, I'm sure there's plenty of other England subs that probably didn't go. Give it to one of them. One of them would have happily gone. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the first team is gone. Then have the decency for one of the subs. One of the subs was probably a massive F1 fan. Give the ticket to him. If you don't want to go, give the ticket to him.
The thing is I do get it. I understand.
No, I don't.
When you're someone as big as Saka and as well, you've got to take pictures all day, every day with kids.
But
we're answering the same question.
The captain of the team's answered. The captain of the team's been interviewed for it. He gets more ticket pictures than anyone else.
I don't. Well, they're both as big as each other, I'd say.
Over Kane, no.
Who?
And Bellingham
Kane
as well.
and Saka.
Bellingham answered.
No,
Yeah, they're all as big as each other. You've got the.
I will say that it's a couple like Bellingham and Grealish and Kane. They were genuinely fans. I'm going to say this now because I was watching. I know
Grealish
a fan
wasn't
when
even
I'm listening.
there.
Was it not Grealish? Who was it with Bellingham? I thought it was Grealish. I can't remember.
There was
who it
a few. There was all.
No,
of them
there was
there.
two of them. There was two people. Like, it was Bellingham and someone else that was doing the
Rice.
interview. Could have been Rice. I don't know.
Oh, I love
It might have been Rice. I don't know. But either way, it was two of them, Bellingham, Kane, whoever else was. And they were answering questions, and they were really excited, and they were talking, they knew the names.
I'm so glad that I've not
good.
seen it, to be fair. Do you know where it would have been really good to have the England team? Granted, it's only a weekend away. Could have waited for Silverstone.
Yeah.
That would have
Yeah.
made far more sense.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's
They
the
might
England
be.
squad
They
at
might be. Are they playing?
Silverstone.
Are they going
We're
on?
not playing again until September.
Oh, yeah, so they might be. They might be. I reckon if I
That
was
would be
the new England manager, I'd be like,
No, because you've already
Sorry,
sent
lads.
it to one, yeah.
no,
send it
it
to
won't matter.
another.
Yeah, be like,
Send
right,
it to another.
All right, you're going golf, you're going cricket, and you're going F1. I was like, I want to go, but I don't care. You work it out amongst yourselves,
Yeah.
but we're going.
No, so anyway, back to I'm reining my thing back on track. If that was your question, if I'm okay with it, no, I'm not. So anyway, I will say the predictions for this weekend. Carter, I already know what you're going to say, but please go ahead. Your top 3, please.
I mean, yeah, it's just stupid to not even imagine that it's going to be a McLaren 1 and 2. So Piastri, no. Norris won. Norris is going to pull a win out.
Going to go Piastri this.
Norris is pulling out a win. Norris 1, Piastri 2, Max 3.
Okay.
It's just pretty much how it works.
Jesse, you know nothing about F1. Please give your opinion.
Piastri win.
Right.
After, but he has to fight for it
Okay.
because Verstappen runs Lando off the track.
Right. Okay. Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
I was going to make a joke and spit my water out and go, what? But no, it's actually quite
Hamilton
reasonable.
third.
Ooh.
What? That's never
That
happening.
is interesting.
Never happening in a million years.
Second,
Oh my god.
George Russell.
George Russell second.
Yeah, that makes sense. Though, to be fair.
Wow,
I'm not
okay.
even like shocked. It makes sense.
I'm going to be controversial.
Oh god.
He has to win one.
Oh, don't even say his name. Don't. I love him. I love him too. But come on.
Charles Leclerc.
Oh, shut up.
It has to happen at some point.
Well,
And
he
it is
ain't gonna
really
be-
good. I like the Austrian. It's either this week or next week. To be honest, I want next week to be a Lando win. I want Silverstone to be a Lando win. So I'm saying Charles this week, followed by Kimi Antonelli.
Okay.
And third, I'm going to say Oscar, because I think McLaren's going to have a bad weekend. They've had consecutively good weekends. Someone's got to have.
You know what? You know what's funny? It's like if I say, Ferrari's had a bad race, it's like, 9th, 10th. Or Mercedes, bad race. Or like 7th, 8th, that's bad. You go, bad race. It's coming in third. It's got a podium.
Yeah, but I do think, I'm saying, I'm saying Charles, Kimi, Oscar.
You're the F1 fan. You're the F1 fan.
I'm a Ferrari fan as well. And at some point it's got to help. It's got to happen.
Where did
for me.
Kimi come out of? Why is he second?
I just think Kimi at the minute has been really impressive, and I do genuinely think he's. I just see him at second on the podium at some point. So yeah.
You can't. Charles.
I think it's rude, if I'm honest with you.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, they are entitled to their own opinion.
Sure, yeah, they are, I suppose.
I think you're rude. I think you're rude. Rude little boy.
Oh, Jesus.
You're sad.
Do you know what? Have this joy now, because at some point you're going to remember what it's to be like to be an old McLaren fan again, and it's going to come down and it's going to crash hard.
Yeah,
and I
but
hope
as
you
you've been a
remember
fan
that.
of F1, you've had no luck. As I've been a fan of F1, I've had luck.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm
can
fine.
you
I've had luck.
remember? Can you
It
just
was
remember
close.
this when all of a sudden it goes up again for me? Because it'll come up with me again. Ferrari always comes
Yeah,
back.
but I'll probably come back in about 5 years' time.
You
Yeah,
sound
no,
like Gary Neville.
joyful.
Gary Neville's been saying for years now. He's like,
Man U.
I can't wait for Man United to get back into.
It's true though. Again, like Ferrari and Man U, they are exactly alike.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Man U is the most famous, as most popular. You think of Man U football t-shirts.
They are
before
easily up there
Ferrari.
as one of the most
You think of
famous
F1,
clubs
you
of all
think
time.
of Ferrari.
Ferrari. It's true, yeah. But they literally have them seasons, like a few seasons at a time, where win everything and there you go. But then that's it, and then it goes so bad.
Like 15 years.
Yeah.
Nothing. So yeah, so that's F1. Jesse, I believe you've got something to talk about.
I do. As you know, I'm a very patriotic man. I love my country. Now I support
Do we
England.
know that?
I support England through thick and thin.
Oh, fair enough.
Except if you're a fat little 18-year-old.
Okay, say those words. Asshole.
A stupid toothed. I predict a riot leads.
I predict a riot.
Scumbag.
Oh no, because he was so lovely about it.
I don't care.
My
Charlie.
favourite, man.
I don't. You know what? I feel bad. No, that was ridiculous.
It was
genuinely.
It was bad.
You're world number 1 and 2. Okay, you're world number 1 and 2, and you both play for England. You're on the same team, and you get knocked out in the first round by our biggest rivals. Hence, I do understand the crowd aspect. I've never seen a crowd be more against a team in my life.
Yeah, they were really bad. I mean, Humphrey seemed to really, like, he was laughing as he was going towards the stage.
You know what?
Littler did not look like he was
I don't know.
laughing.
He kind of laughs because he deals with it so much. But in my opinion, he gets it the most.
The
he gets
issue
so
is-
much abuse.
Yeah,
all
but
the time.
I feel
So
like
think
he
he's-
sort of uses it now, whereas Littler looked like it was really bothering him.
You know what bothers me is this is the same team for next year for most part, or most likely be the same team next year, and the issue is it's not chosen. It is always
So-
based on merit.
Yeah, well, someone actually said to me, like, I do find it quite interesting, that I get where he was coming from as well, like, it was really, like, Jim. Shout out to Jim. So we were talking about it, and he said the thing with Littler, because obviously it's Littler's first time doing doubles, isn't it? So Littler's quite a fast-paced darts player, And
Same
it's
with
quite
me,
a
yeah,
massive
same with me.
break. So at the end of the day, every single time you're then waiting for one person to throw the darts, you're then waiting for your team member to throw the darts, another person to throw the darts, and then it's your turn. So you're waiting for 3 people basically to throw the darts and get back to you. And he's a fast-paced darts player, where reasonably he's going to have these longer breaks he's probably not used to having.
I agree with that, but I also somewhat disagree, because I'm a very fast thrower. I'm worse in doubles than I am singles, but I can still play it. What bothered me, I think, were more of them, and it showed throughout a game. It literally showed every part of the game. When one of them was doing well, the other one was not.
Yeah.
They did not work off each other. It's Michael Smith and Luke Humphries last year. When you watched them play, they bounced off each other. When one of them did well, the other would do well. When the other one set them up, the other one set them up. They'd talk to it. They'd work with it.
I will say Littler was doing better, and I'm a Humphries fan through and throughout. But I'll give this. I would say Littler was a bit better.
When Littler was bad, he was awful. He was genuinely. It's like watching an amateur player. How you can be number 1 and 2 in the world and do that performance is shocking.
I think
shocking.
The thing is, and I've said this before about darts, it's so weird because when you watch them on the night, you could genuinely think, well, they're going to have the best. Like Humphries, when we were watching Premier, we were like, there's no way that he's going to have a bad night, and he'd be out in the first round. Like, darts is one of those where I think you reasonably...
It's mentality, yeah.
It is literally like, if you don't come out ready for it, you're just not going to do anything. And I guess that's true for most sports.
I think...
But at the end of the day, with like football and stuff, you've got like a massive team. Realistically, just because you're having a bad time doesn't mean everyone else is. Whereas darts, it's so singular.
James Madison and Gezi said this when they did like a little darts thing. When you're in darts, it's on you to get fixed mentality. When it's football, someone could come on and replace you. For me personally, I just think though, you're number 1 and 2 in the world, and I get the crowd aspect. The crowd was unbelievable.
Yeah, they were so bad.
So supportive of Germans, but God, they hate us. Obviously, understandable. Yes, because it is Germany.
If it was in England, it would be the same scenario. So it's not like
they could have done so much better. Gezi said it though in an interview afterwards. Apparently, they're the only team in the whole tournament who didn't sit together or talk to each other, or arrive together and whatnot. Yeah.
What, Humphries and Littler?
Humphries and Littler, yeah. And like you said, you need that team aspect. Johnny Clayton and Geraint Price.
I can't imagine that's on Humphries. Someone
tells me it isn't as well. Someone tells me it is a little.
Which I think that's really sad because...
Well, this is why I'll be the guy to say it. If I was picking the England team next year, I wouldn't pick Littler.
Yeah.
I would probably go for someone...
Aspinall.
I would probably go for Aspinall.
If it was Humphries and Aspinall, I would have felt a lot more comfortable.
The thing is, they're mates as well.
Yeah.
Aspinall's very easy to get on with. I'm sure if you're playing with him, he'll probably big you up. He'll probably make you play better.
Honestly,
I bet they played doubles because they're off mates.
I started last year a Littler fan. This year, I'm such an Aspinall fan, like without question. I love him so. He's my favourite.
I would like Littler.
Probably followed by Humphries.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably followed by Humphries.
I would say next year, if Littler somehow can't make it to the World Cup of Darts, I would love for it to be Aspinall and Humphries. That would be such a good job.
I will say this: I don't know if he deserves it. Personally, I don't think he does.
Right,
but
if you start with this
he's
Aspinall
so
slander,
good. He's so good.
He's literally... I think this year has proven that. He got into the Premiership, everyone was saying he shouldn't be there, he didn't deserve to be there, and he was one of the top 4. If that is not evidence enough...
He's then followed that.
Yeah.
That he's the next Euro Tour, which was like a week later after the Premier League, he's gone and won it.
Yeah.
So
if that doesn't prove that Aspinall deserves to be there, I don't know what will.
He's a top darts player. The issue is, like I said, with the Littler and Humphries thing now, and I still can't get it, but I will go to the rest of the teams in a second. You're number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
In the world, yeah.
However, Germany made it to semi-finals. You know what, the crowd was brilliant for them as well. Fair play to them.
They weren't bad either.
They were.
They're both good players, world-class players for sure. And obviously they work well together. And they had their entire crowd and everyone cheering for him. So,
I got to see Pikachu.
The Netherlands absolutely dominated until they came up against Wales. And then it was Johnny Clayton masterclass, really. And then Gezi did a checkout, which was tops to win it for him, which was good. But I got that final. That is the best final probably one of the best finals I've ever seen in all of darts. it was. They went back to back.
Yeah.
One went ahead of the other,
Yeah.
then when they came back and one went ahead of the other. Josh Rock basically is married to that treble 20. He just cannot.
He was so
I think
good.
he hit 12 180s or something like that, and that
So
doesn't even
good.
include the amount of times he hit the treble as well.
I would like to see Josh Rock in the Premiership next year.
The issue about Rock, and it really does show, his average is crazy. He can't miss that treble. It is just a double, but he is getting a lot better as a player. Daryl Gurney, passionate as always, funny, so funny.
But I'm going to make a public announcement. This is as a woman, but I also feel like for anyone out there, but this mostly, I'm going to be honest with you, only happens with men. There's something called belts. No one ever, especially on live television, should see your bum crack. No one should ever have to see that, especially on live TV.
Hey Jess, she said bum crack.
She's a bum crap.
I said bum crack.
Yes, I will say that was a bit.
What are you on about? I didn't see that part.
When he dropped down to the floor,
He dropped down to the floor, and that's all you could see.
it? Oh,
all
Jesus.
you could see. It was.
You know what? If you're in a pub and someone wins a darts tournament, you're like, oh, whatever.
Even then,
It's disgusting, but fair
Even
enough. But not on
then.
live television.
belts.
I think
just use them.
that final though, Daryl Gurney played in that final particularly. I think leading up to that, it was all just Josh Rock. It's just Josh Rock was unbelievable in that final.
I actually thought
Daryl Gurney,
he was going to screw Josh off.
Yeah, but that final,
It wasn't until that final round where I genuinely said to Dad, I was like, it's not gonna.
When Daryl Gurney, the thing about Daryl Gurney was in them final rounds, he was checking out.
Yeah.
He was doing the checking out, and then Rock was just doing that crazy averaging. Johnny Clayton and Gerwin Price, Jesus
They did
Christ.
amazing as well.
They're so good. They will be, if I was to say of all time, one of the best duos in the World Cup of Darts. They were up there.
You can tell they get on as
They're
well.
such good mates.
Molds really well.
They're very good players.
It makes sense because nobody else likes a Welsh, so they might like each other.
Exactly.
Oh no, I love. To be fair, I love Gezi. Gezi, honestly,
I'm such
there
a
is
Gezi
nothing
fan.
that makes me happier. Do you know there was a bit? I can't remember which round it was, but Clayton checked out.
Go Johnny Boy!
And literally, he said, "Go Johnny Boy," and then he was like, "Booyah!" And I was like, he didn't even do anything. He didn't do anything, and he still did a booyah. And I was like, oh, I love it.
I've got to say though, when they checked out that 8-8, Northern Ireland, first ever World Cup of Darts win.
It's their first ever win of anything, of any sport ever. Northern Ireland's never won.
Is that serious?
It's got to be.
Probably.
What have they won?
Surely
It's just
something.
I like Josh Rock a lot, and Daryl Gurney is like Gezi for me. I find them both very entertaining.
Yeah.
So if Wales won, I would have been. I like Gurney Clayton. I like
I would
Gezi.
love to see the Welsh
But
win.
with Northern Ireland being, I like an underdog.
Yeah.
I was happy with them winning as
I
well.
feel like they were a major underdog. I would have preferred seeing them win just because I know Gezi, I know Johnny Clayton.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather see that, and as well, I just thought they were a better team.
The interviews that followed it was really good, very
Really
humble, very humble, and it's just overall. Since England got kicked out, it was a pretty good tournament after that. Yeah, it was a very good tournament after that.
I feel like it was such a it was disappointing. And I will say, to go back to England, what I thought was more disappointing of Luke. I don't want this to be a bash on Luke because I love Luke.
Oh, I already know what you're going to say. When you lose, take it on the chin.
When you lose, be humble enough to actually stay on that stage. At the end of the day, storming off was embarrassing. I think you are representing England. If that is the representation, that is what people are going to see as English behaviour, and it's not. I think at the end of the day, stand on that stage, smile through it, grit your teeth, and go off stage and be upset after that. You do not. You should not. Like, honestly, Humphrey stood on there on his own, properly congratulating. I can't remember the name.
Schindler and
Pikachu. I always call him Pikachu because that's what he does. But I genuinely thought he stood there there, he was hugging them, he was congratulating them. Littler had cleared the stage within 2 seconds of giving them, I'm not even joking, like a one shake of a handshake, and that was it.
I think Price and Clayton showed...
embarrassing.
I don't even think he shook his hand.
No, he did. He
went shake,
it was
left,
literally 1-1, gone, 1-1, gone.
Jesus.
That was it. Like, I don't know if he did shake. I think he did shake the...
He did.
Yeah,
he went over
but then that was it. And I just thought that was mortifying.
I think Price and Clayton showed a very good... after they lost, they were just clapping or congratulating. Yeah. They took it on the chin so well.
And I don't want it to be a little bashing, because I don't think it... I think there is an element of his age there showing.
Yeah.
That at the end of the day, he's an 18-year-old lad who probably isn't showing
and he was getting booed so
correctly.
Bad.
And he was getting booed really bad. He's been quite open about the fact he didn't like being at the German auditoriums because of last time. So I get that he was already in a bad way. But you are on that stage representing. Can you imagine if England did that in football and they just stormed off and didn't even shake? Like, the referees would all be like, "Are you joking? Get back on that pitch and actually."
Oh no! If England lost some World Cup or Euros, I don't even care, because like what I said, when we got knocked out of the World Cup by France, I was with, I think it was 6 people. I walked home with 2 of them, and I didn't say a single word to one of them the entire time after we lost.
I just feel like there is an element, like, do you know when they go up? Do the right thing. Just do the right thing.
The thing is about Humphries as well is it shows how nice he is, because he didn't just stop and say, like, you know, if you went, say, normally they'd shake hands with the players, then they'd go back, do a scoreboard person, the referee, the announcers, shake all their hands, go back, shake players' hands again, and then leave. He didn't just do that. Yeah. He spoke to them real quick.
The crowd that was booing him, he started clapping.
Clapped the crowd, went to the referees, all that people. Shook all their hands, went back again, had an actual conversation and said, "Oh, thanks," hugging them, saying, "Oh, you know, well done." Back to the crowd, shook their hands again, or left. Yeah. He's a genuinely nice guy.
Good.
And it's bad that he did. I mean, it's not bad. Obviously, it's great he did it, but it shows. Even if you were just normal, went there, back, there, forth, you know, just quickly and left, you wouldn't see it noticed as much. But you know, Humphries is still so nice. But he literally just shook hands and left.
I mean, I'm obviously not. Has there been backlash, like online and stuff, for Littler for that?
There always is with Littler. There always is.
I think there's an element that is quite sad as well. Anyway, because I think people do forget he is so young. You do act out differently. No. I know what you're gonna say, and at the end of the day, I do think there is that element of he probably has just got that little bit of mardiness. And I'm sure you want to do there, just so everyone knows what mardiness actually means is. But
moodiness.
I do think there is an element of him being just slightly mardy sometimes, but it really.
I will always say I don't think I've seen and I've known, like, say, 18-year-olds that are far more mature and respectful than that. So no, I don't think it's got to do with age. I think it's just a bit disrespectful and a bit moody.
I don't mean disrespectful. I just think it was really
disrespectful.
It is disrespectful, but I wouldn't call him a disrespectful person. I think it was.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him, but
I do think he was
what
just
he
being
did was
really
an act of
mardy.
disrespect.
Yeah, and I think as well, again, you're representing your country, and people's opinions of your country will base on that.
Yeah.
And that to me was just he should have just stayed, gritted his teeth. You know, be upset by all means, but don't just get off the stage and, you know, show it in a better fashion than storming off. Like, it just wasn't right.
4 darts, so that's pretty much all we have. And football, I'm not talking about the World Cup of darts because it's useless. So, other than that, I've got Derby County's pre-season starting soon.
Yeah, nice.
We've got a big signing transfer rumours with Man United, with Chelsea. It's just some good ones. Some good ones, but... that I'm going to wait for confirmation because it's very early on. When Derby County do get a good signing or anything like that, I'll be the first one on it. I'm diving on it.
Okay.
Just we'll get a quick question going though, just so we can speak one little bit about football. Just one. Who would you like to see transfer to what club from there now, and why?
I'd like to see Wayne Rooney go and play for Real Madrid. Or David Beckham to go and play for Chelsea.
Yes, I've got this. They're not really like...
Bobby Charlton to play for Aston Villa.
Cart is far too back. His computer's rebooting.
Peter Schmeichel?
No. I would... Actually, I am going to say something.
Go on.
I'd like to see Edison move.
Oh, God, shut up. All right.
No. I'm
anyway, guys, we're really...
I'm going to say I'd like to see him at Man U.
He would never in a million years do that.
But he could.
He would
They
never.
have the money to, but there's
Well, have you heard? Do you know who the transfer rumour who they do want as a keeper is Martinez, from Villa. If they get him, keeper,
or
crazy.
Edison at like Liverpool or somewhere.
Well, he's not better.
He'd
than
never
Alisson.
leave it, but I'd take.
Is Alisson
Alison's
at
Liverpool
Oh, right,
keeper,
okay,
yeah.
never mind
He'd
then.
never leave it in
Never
a
mind.
million years.
He's going
But
Saudi. He is going Saudi.
I would I would be so happy, and he would never leave him. So I know it never happened. But if we got Pickford,
I was going to say, or seeing Pickford in a biggest team
I could see Pickford
Man U.
being chosen by somebody.
Yeah,
Man U. I want Man U to say, right, Pickford.
Or
I'd
Man
be so
City.
happy.
I think
Pickford is better than Onana.
I'm better than Onana.
Oh,
He is.
oh no.
Not being the thing is, a lot of people say you know the thing that I love about football takes. A lot of people say hot football takes. It's everyone's personal opinion.
Yeah.
I've seen someone say Danny Welbeck's better than Salah, but that one might be ridiculous. But hey, it's all opinion. I think
Quality.
Pickford is a better keeper than Onana. I don't think Man United will have him. I do think Man United do want to do a big rebuild, and I think they are going for Martinez from Villa, which arguably is one of the best keepers in the world. So they're probably going to go for him.
Yeah.
The one I'm thinking, there's two in my head actually, is
Cash him back to Derby.
I would love. Well, there's rumours.
Oh.
There's rumours he might be.
Oh my gosh. You'd lose your schnizzle.
Garnacho.
Yeah.
And this is heavily rumoured that this is actually going to happen to Chelsea.
Oh, is that controversial?
Very.
I was gonna say,
He's fobbed off United. He does not want to be there anymore.
I'm right in saying that Chelsea's like a massive rival to Man
Yes,
U.
well, they're the big
Man
four.
U.
Yes.
They're not one of the biggest rivals.
No,
but, I mean,
no,
it's still a
they're one
rivalry
of the
because
big
of
ones.
the
So
big four.
the big rivals, I would say, and again, this might be controversial. Is Liverpool, Man United.
Yeah.
And it's Tottenham, Chelsea. Everyone would say, no, but the North London derby, Arsenal and Tottenham. I would say Tottenham, Chelsea has a lot more heat, tense.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the season where I think there basically was just a scrap because Chelsea knocked Tottenham out of title race and won Leicester the Premier League. I would say them two, but they're both a big six club. So you get City, you've got Tottenham, you've got Arsenal, you've got Liverpool, you've got Chelsea, you've got United. They're the big six club. So it's selling Garnacho. The thing is, it's not really like a big thing because they're basically handing them a useless player.
Yeah.
I do not like Garnacho. He has moments of brilliance, but when he's posing in a Villa shirt, when he's still under contract at United, what does that show you?
Yeah, but
Just
that
get him
happens a
gone.
million
Just get him
times
gone.
in 10.
Another one is Newcastle's Isak, Alexander Isak, probably the best. No, Haaland, damn it. Probably the second best striker in the Premier League, I'd say. Potentially going to Liverpool. If Liverpool get him, Lord help the world. There's not really much stopping them, to be honest with you, because then they've got the best right winger, they've got one of the best centre backs, they've got a very strong
overrated right winger in my opinion.
Well, the only person who you could say is better than him is Saka. But then I would still say Salah is the best winger in the world at the moment. Either way, it is. There's a lot of rumours going about who might be moving. Derby County is the main one I'm focusing on at the moment. I would love to see some transfer. You know what? I know Eustace. I know what this man is capable of. We're getting some good people in, and I cannot wait for it personally. And you know what I can't wait for? Being in the Premier League in a year's time. That is going to be amazing. That is going to be fantastic.
Anyway.
No.
Arthur.
Anyway, guys, we're very, very glad that you've stayed and listened to us. And we would love you to carry on and listen to all our podcasts. We are on any
Every
platform.
Guys, it's our 19th episode.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
19. Wow, we're moving.
Fine, I'll do a shot to celebrate.
Yeah, we would very much appreciate if you subscribe on anything. We're on TikTok, Instagram. Are we on X?
Yeah, we're on
Oh my
X.
god, we're on X as well.
Yeah.
We're on everything. Yeah, but you have to be correct nowadays, don't you? We're on everything, guys.
We're on
That's all you need
everything.
to know. We're on MySpace. If you want to follow us on MySpace, we're on
Fine, it's
MySpace.
on MySpace, sure.
We're on everything. Well, we thank you so much for listening, and until next week, which we will have more to talk about then. Adios.
Bye.
Drive
Bless
safely.
sunscreen.
Stay hydrated.